Ready or not, here I come. Can't hide. Gonna find you and then yo. I play my enemies like a game of chess where I rest. No stress, no smoke sense. Ready or not.
Good evening, Monday.
Monday. It's a good day. It's a good day to be alive.
Yes, we're back and continuing. Welcome to the Sistas Spill.
Mm-hmm.
Sister, what was our what was our what was our
I
topic?
don't know, but we talking about daddy issues. It kind of made me think about um we
Did
were
you
talking
share, sister?
about huh?
Did you share it on?
My patience is worn thin and I can no longer hold my tongue.
Hmm.
Um
There it goes.
I said we need to get into talking about just parenting in general, how we were parents, what was
Mm-hmm.
said, what was done, things we had to heal from, you know.
Yep, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. You wait for a couple to come on in. What you need to tag?
Mm-hmm.
Tag a few people.
Um, mm, what we do, raise with love and a little crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Childhood, the good, the bad, and the funny.
Tony, come on.
From whoop to hugs.
What?
What we do, raise with love and a little crazy. Raised right or wrong, the way we were raised. These are the titles we could do for our next one. Upbringing, unfiltered,
Mm-hmm.
something like that. But
Yep. Well,
anyway,
somebody got a topic you want us to we can talk about. Put it in the
talk
chat.
about the different things and oh, like we got to work on we're gonna get our men back up here talking
Mm-hmm.
about the things that's going on, the effects of daddy issues on our men. That's something that we need to
Mm-hmm.
talk about next.
Yes.
And see, we talked about what effect it had on us as women, which is it has a lot of different effects, positive and negative.
Right.
Um, and it's crazy when you see people that you know and you see the effects that it have on them. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
Yep.
It just makes it real. It makes it real, to be honest.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
We talked
Absolutely.
about standards. Every time we get on here, we be yarning on Mondays. Is it because Mondays is our
I think
first
it's right because it's Monday. It's
because it's
it's been a man. It's been a something summer. That's all I can say. The summer has been.
yeah,
Whew,
it's been
it's been a
different.
busy, different, just real different. But like, hey, the end of this year's gonna be some of the best. I believe
Hmm.
that. Hmm.
Yeah.
So I think we stopped at where we didn't hit that too much. What standards are too low? when standards are too low or too high, settling for less to avoid loneliness or fear of rejection. We didn't talk about that.
We didn't.
No, I don't remember talking about that because that's a good one.
When standards are too low or too high,
Settling for less than to avoid loneliness or fear of
loneliness
rejection.
or fear rejection. I think that's a
hmm
big one.
That is a big one.
Hmm. Of not being
That
lonely because
is.
we as women, we feel like it's just in us to want companionship. It's just in us
Mm-hmm.
to, especially when I think when you have had children and you
Mm-hmm.
used to that closeness, them being close to you all the time,
Yep.
and then they begin to get older and get away from you, get away from the need of you, then you
Mm-hmm.
open up more to the feelings of emotion of what you need. And then you
Yes.
start to realize what you need. Because when you have been given out, you have been given out. And this is especially if you like single, been single,
Mm-hmm.
divorced, whatever. And your kids begin to, you're a single mom or you became a single mom, you got divorced, however, and then your kids is needing you. But those times as they getting older, they got their own life, and then they begin to need you. So what you think about that?
You hit the mute button. Oh, so I was gonna say, okay, well, you said a lot. You said a lot. Give me a portion of what you want. You said so much, like I can say so much. You said so much. Just I guess we're talking about the guess when the standards are too low or they're too high and you're settling for less, to avoid loneliness or fear rejection or building walls too high to let anyone in. That could be those those things that I think as women we just can't be afraid. Like we can't be afraid to of the unknown. I think a lot of people are just afraid of the unknown. And we just can't be afraid to be alone. And really, you're not alone just because you're not with someone. Because sometimes you can be with someone and still alone, you know. And a lot of times we fear the unknown of like, okay, if I let this person go or let this situation out my life, or I may be alone. And that's not just in relationships, but as in intimate relationships, but it could be in friendships and family ships. Like you can be so used to being with your sister, brother, cousin, or best friend, or friend, and it's like it's so normal, and it's norm to you, even the treatment, or you'll settle for things because you don't want to go out and explore. Hey, maybe there's somebody is a better friend, maybe somebody is a better guy, a better female. And I think it's the fear of unknown. We don't want to be lonely because you feel like, oh, well, I got to start this all over again. It's like you got to start. I got to meet, get to know somebody. I got to meet, and then even on the friendship level, like, oh gosh, can I even trust somebody? Because I had somebody that I thought I could trust. So, I mean, a lot of that,
Hmm.
we just have to be okay with setting standards, having boundaries, and just walking with them. And believe you me, a lot of good people out there, not saying that they don't have issues or anything like that. A lot of good people can accept your standards and they appreciate the standards. It makes them level up and do things, So, but sometimes
Right.
we be afraid to go out and launch out and have faith and stuff and believe that hey, it is something else better out there when it comes to a relationship, as in intimacy, or a friendship, or family. You think that, oh, well, this is my family. Nobody, if my family don't love me, nobody else ain't gonna all that stuff you know can come up and creep up in your head. But you just got to know that, hey, look, it ain't always gonna be like this, and everybody is not like who hurt you. Everybody is not who hurt you. So you just have to trust God, and you have to be like, hey, you know what? This is unfamiliar territory, but you know what? I know it got to be something better than this, or I don't have to settle for anything. And if I am alone
Yeah.
at this moment, I won't always be alone. you know.
I hit mute there. Yeah.
Mhm. So I mean,
Um, I think you made some good points. I think that um I think the we just like you say, the fear of the unknown, of not knowing that of the unknown, because nobody wants to be alone. You know what I'm saying? And I think when we lower our standards to we lower our standards, I think we lower the possibilities of us, of the things that we can experience in different levels of greatness.
mhm. Yep. And then even when you have some people try to set their standards or their standards so high to where they know people are not going to be able to obtain them. So it's like I don't have to deal with it. Like I already know they're too high, so I don't even have to face you or even because hey, I know you're not going to be able to do this. And it's almost kind of a way to a guard for themselves to be like, well, instead of being okay with trying to let your, like open your heart up again. Open so they'll have the standards so high to where you know the person's not gonna meet the expectations. You know they're not gonna be able to meet, to meet the standard. They're not gonna do it and you know it. So it's like, hey, it kind of keeps you what say they're not doing what I need them to do. They're not gonna, but really on the inside is you, not the person, because you're not being realistic, on some standards are so high you're not being even realistic. You're not even being realistic with yourself because would you be able to handle them standards, will you be able to do the same thing you asking of somebody else, I
I
guess that's
think
why
that
go ahead. Once you see
all
like they talk about like a lot of the you see it on TikTok and sometimes different social media and they say a lot of these women they be like women go out there they I want to go to this type of restaurant, this 5-star restaurant and you need to pick me up in this and you need to pay for this or that, just meeting guys and stuff like that, and they be like, you can't even pay for that. So sometimes women be having the standards for guys and you can't even do that for your own self, but you want that from somebody else and you can't even take care of your own. You can't even afford to take your own self out to a restaurant that you may come out spending $200-300, on for your meal. Like, but you having this expectation for somebody else. Like I get why people you're like, why you can't even do it. Like that's crazy. Some people have that high expectation, but really it's something within themselves,
I
that
think
they're
that what you're saying is that a lot of times women have high expectations of a man when they don't even have their things in line, right? So
mm-hmm,
you expecting the high expectations from a man that you don't even have. So
mm-hmm,
you're saying you want a man to take you to a 5-star restaurant, you want a man to do this or do that, but you can't even do it for yourself.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep, yep,
Um,
yep.
you know what? I think it's some type of extension. We said we was gonna do that. We usually kind of like that's something we can, but yeah, I'll look into that because I think that's an extension that we have. But sometimes we'll just invite the people to come up. Like we don't care if you want to come up and be a part of the conversation because it's really that's what it's about. Sis, I see what you're saying as far as a call in to the listeners, but I think it's an extension that we can use. But we can I'll have to look into that. But we don't mind people actually being able to come up because we can bring people up.
Mm-hmm. Send you a link.
Um, but what I was gonna say is that I think in the past, just from my own experiences, is that me not setting boundaries with me not setting the having the expectations because of the fear of if I set it to this level, I know deep down inside you're not gonna come up to that level.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just keep it at this level. I'll keep it here because I know that you're not going to reach here. So I'll just what we call settle.
Mm-hmm.
understand what I'm saying? Out of the
Yeah.
fear of, I know you can't reach that level. So within myself, I deep down know that this relationship probably really is not going to work.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep. And then you have it where even too, you'll have the high standards. You come in the door. This is what I want. This
Oh, but you'll
expectation,
bring them down.
and you'll bring them down. Yeah, or you'll be with somebody that claim, oh, this is, oh, they want to level up or this, and that's just because that's what they want to get you. And really, there when it comes when we put it, what they say when you put their foot to the fire, when you actually gotta perform, and I'm expecting these expectations now. Now it's like, you become, sometimes you'll get that where you too much, or you too much, you're too much for them, or you maybe not, that's because you came in the door, you already knew my expectations. But then when I look and see that, okay, wait a minute, you're not doing what you say you're doing, like, hold on. Then I have to call you on it, and it's like, oh, now, oh, you really want me to? Oh, you really expect me to be like this? Oh, you really? Oh, but that's what you said. That's what you were saying you were doing, or you want to work on, or you want to be. But then now, then it's like they'll get you to that place to where you start to develop that relationship, that closeness. Your heart open to them, and then you start to see. Hold on, they'll be doing everything at the beginning, but then all of a sudden they ain't really what they supposed to be. They ain't really doing what they said they want to do. And then you begin to settle too, because why? Your heart is in it. You invested time, energy, resources, and now it's like this ain't what it's not what I signed up for. You know?
I think now, I think I said it a couple times, that we are in a place in our life, when you get to a place in your life and you have been in relationships, you have been married, you've been in long-term relationships for a while, you've been in multiple relationships that didn't work. After some point, you come to your, I feel like at this point in our lives, when you get to the more mature point of your life, I feel like you need to just go for it. And then the biggest heartbreaks of your life, I think I said it before, is behind you. The
Yep.
more mature you become, the different perspective that you'll have when it comes to relationships.
Yep.
And the
So true.
different, yes, the different, when you are at a mature level, you've had the different heartbreaks in relationships, you had the experience in relationships. When you get to a certain level, those heartbreaks, those, um, it's just different. I feel like the older you get, now you're able to live freer as
Mm-hmm.
it comes to dating, as it comes to relationships. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, when we were a little younger, we cared about what people thought. We cared
Yeah,
about
you do.
what we saw. We cared about people's opinion of us, because a lot of that was friendship pressure. You
Mm-hmm.
being with your friends, your girlfriends or whatever, and they saying, "Oh, girl, why you doing that? Oh, girl, who is that? Oh, you don't need that. Oh, you don't need this." And guess what it did? It shaped how we talk to guys. It shaped how,
Mm-hmm.
who we talk to, who we didn't talk to, and different things like that. But then you turned around, and then you looking at them and you like, but dog, but
But
you
you take
dealing with, but you taking
XYZ, right?
what I need from this dude, but you telling me what I don't need to do, but you over here with this dude that ain't hitting on jack squat. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And so I think boundaries, I think boundaries is a big thing. Communication. I think
Communication.
dealing with your
Mm-hmm.
trauma, healing from your past relationships. We've been talking healing on this podcast for a long time. People need to heal. People need to heal from their childhood traumas. they childhood issues that they have, the childhood issues with your daddy, the childhood issues with your mama, the childhood issues feeling like you was the middle child, didn't get enough attention, or you was the oldest child and everything fell on you, or despising your little sister because they was the baby and they got it easy. You know, all these different things that we deal with, dealing with your parents divorcing, deal with your traumas, deal with your past relationship, deal with your divorce, heal from all these different things, heal from these past relationships, heal from your man beating you, heal from your man talking to you like trash, dogging you, heal from your man calling you a bitch. You know, I think the biggest mistake in relationships now is that people have carried baggage on into another relationship and they didn't
Mhm.
heal from the prior. They didn't unpack
Mhm.
that they didn't unpack that luggage
Right.
and put it away. They packed the
Yep.
luggage and then they took more and they brought some people gonna bring
Mhm.
some type of baggage with them. But I'm talking about unpacking those deep rooted things that really
Right.
cause trauma bonds, that really cause rejection, that really cause anger, that really cause sadness, that cause depression, that cause anxiety. Um,
Mhm.
what I found out, and I said so many times, having relationships from a healed place in any capacity with your parents, with your siblings, with your when you date, with your children, being healed, you have a total different relationship with people when you heal.
Sure do.
And you have a
So
different
true.
level of grace. You understand what I'm
So
saying?
do. Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's because we're about to come back to that, the healing. So let's talk about the love versus attention, knowing the difference. Real love is secure, not confusing. Attention is instant but fleeting. Love is intentional and consistent, and that is so true. I think sometimes people don't we sometimes it's we have probably all been caught. We thought that it was love, but it was just you was getting attention. Because one thing I love is secure. Love is secure, and if you go in what the Bible tell you what love is, it tell you what love is. Love is
Love is
patience. Love is
patient.
kind.
Love is
Love is not
kind.
puffed up. You know, you're not.
It's
Oh,
not
you
puffed.
ain't.
Come on, say it again. It's not puffed
Come
up.
on.
Love is not
I'm not trying to.
prideful.
Oh, not prideful. Like love is that's the now that's what love is. You want to know what love is? We go to the Word of God, and it tells you what love is. Cause so when you in a relationship and a person like you're being successful or you're doing something great, and they can't pat you on your back, and they like, oh, you just think you all that. See, that's puffed up. Because if you with me, you're gonna support me. You're gonna have my back, and I'm gonna support you, and I'm gonna have your back. You're gonna be patient with me. If I don't do something right, or I accidentally misread something or say something out of line, you're not gonna be ready to snap my head off or cuss me out. You're gonna be patient, even if you have to step back a little bit and get silent, and just you're gonna be patient with me. You're gonna be kind. Love not gonna call me no B. Love not gonna call me out my name. You know what I'm saying? That's not love. Love is kind. Love is long suffering. We can weather the storms with each other. We can weather the storms with each other. That's what love is. Just
And it's
attention is just
humility.
yes, totally
Humility. 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 You got to be able to say, you know what, I was wrong in that area. You know what, I
exactly.
didn't have the right information. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
have. It's humility. It's knowing, being able to humble yourself,
Mm-hmm.
patient.
Yep, and to be able to accept accountability. If I'm wrong, you know what, that was me. I'm sorry. To be able to apologize, to be able to forgive. You know, sometimes people worry about everything else. You might need to just work on your love for a minute. Work and see how your love is working. Let your love work within yourself and see if your love is true to what it really is. Because sometimes you just missing love. If you had the love right, everything else would fall in line. If everybody loved the way the Bible say love, we wouldn't have some issues that we have today. We wouldn't have the issues. So you know that it's the love is flawed. Their feelings of what they think love is flawed. Their thoughts of love is flawed, you know? Because love, there's no imperfection. There is no imperfection in love. Love is just what it is. Love is what it is. It's what exactly what God said it is. God is love, and He's perfect in every way, in every aspect. So if you find yourself in any of that where you get easily to get, and it said not easily to anger. See, when you so easy, quick to get upset, or you can't forgive, or you know you quick to oh man, this going on, you all over. You gotta check your love. Like, is something going on with your love? Ain't right. Your love ain't right. And you got to know the difference between what love is and what somebody's just giving you the attention to keep you where you are. You know, sometimes people just give you attention because they don't want you to go nowhere else, but they truly don't love, because love is not going to hurt you. Love is not, love is not going to do some of the things that people call, oh, he loved me. He what? Oh, she loved me, but she what? Are you sure? Can't be. Can't be.
It
You know.
says love is patient and kind. I always thought about when you read the scripture, I always thought everything matters. How it's said, the periods, the comma. And it says, love is patient. Now I'm reading the New Living Translation. I'm a KJV person, but I'm reading in the New Living Translation.
Mhm.
Love is patient. Love is It's a love is patient and kind. So you got to be patient and kind. Love is not jealous
Mm.
or boastful or proud or rude. That X out cussing your partner out, cussing your friends out, cussing
Mhm.
your kids out. That I'm just keeping it above. That
That's
or
it.
rude. It does not demand its own way.
Mhm.
That means there's a level of selflessness. There's selflessness in love.
Yes, yes.
It's not irritable, and it keeps no record of being wrong. So that means if it was wrong, you did this wrong this day, this was wrong. You not bringing it up in the people face because you're not throwing it in their face. You're not
Mm.
throwing the situation and the circumstance in a person's face just because that you know something about an individual, or it's something that's old and
Right.
it triggers something in you, so you feel like you're gonna beat it over. Yeah, remember you did this to
You
me,
did
and
what?
you remember
No.
this to me? No, it says
Mm-mm.
it does not rejoice about injustice, but rejoices whenever the truth wins out. That's a big
Mhm.
thing. We serve a just God.
Yep.
We serve a just God. I've been guilty of it myself, you know, of things that you may have seen, you may think. What I've learned is that we have to measure. It's so many stories in the word. We have to measure our emotions and feelings according to the word
You're
and
right.
how we think about things.
Mhm.
The truth should always be at the top. The truth should always reign. The truth, whether it's the truth about ourselves, whether it's the truth about another individual, whether it's the truth about a circumstance or situation, truth should always be in our forefront because we made in his likeness and his image.
Mhm.
And the word is right. He said the truth will make you free. It don't say the Bible don't say it will set you free. It don't say it will set you. Set and make is two different things. The Bible says the truth will make you free. So
Mhm.
the truth is demanding. You know what I'm saying? It's demanding.
Mhm.
It's
It's
not
going to
like
be. It's going to be.
It's gonna make you free. That means it's putting a demand on free. It's making
Mhm.
you free. When you set something, you're pushing it. You're saying, "Oh, you go ahead. I'm gonna set you free. I'm gonna let you go." No, but the truth is gonna make you free, meaning that it's gonna hold you hostage. It's gonna make you
Like you
free.
have no choice but to be free. You have no choice but to be
Choice
free.
but to be free. So the truth should always reign for us. The truth should always reign. It says, love never gives up. And when I read it, I'm just gonna tell you, we just need to be honest. We done gave up on a lot of stuff. I know I have. I'm gonna
Hmm.
just be real. I have given
So
up on a
true.
lot of stuff, and I had just come to the realize I ain't love it like that. And that's just the
Hmm.
truth.
Hmm.
I didn't love it like that. I didn't love the person like that. I'm just
Hmm.
being totally honest. I didn't love you like that. Period. It's just what it was. It said it never gives up and it never loses faith.
Hmm. Mm-mm.
It's always hopeful.
Always hopeful.
That means always hopeful.
Looking
Always,
for
that
good. You're
means
always
that
looking
puts
for
you
the
on a
good in something or looking for the positive
you
side.
looking for you looking for the motivation. Yes, you looking for the motivation. You looking for the good. You looking for it. You saying, hey, this is what it is. This is what it is. I'm looking for it to be better. I'm looking for it. It's not gloom and doom.
Mhm.
You're not having a gloom and doom. No. And I think this is what we all need to realize that some situations, some people, some circumstance, some job, some stuff we just didn't
Yeah.
love. We hooked up with people that we just didn't love. We hooked up with people that we just
Mhm.
didn't love. We hooked up out of people out of soul ties.
Yep.
We hooked up with people that we hooked up with people just because we had kids with them. We hooked up with people just because we had sex with them 5 million times. And the truth of the reality is, I know back in the day when you hooked up with them, you talked to them, got their number, you kicked it with them for a little while or whatever, and then guess what? Y'all was knocking boots.
Mhm.
You didn't get to know the person. You didn't get to talk to them. You wasn't doing all that. You know what I'm saying? You was really hanging outside. You was on. But what about them conversations?
Mhm.
A lot of us, we was really trying to get away from our parents. We were trying to get away from our home life. You know, if we just tell the
Right.
truth. Uh, and it endures through every circumstance. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm done. Ain't got me. I wasn't. I ain't love nobody. I ain't love nobody. I didn't love nobody because some stuff I'm just not about to do it.
Lord have mercy.
But
That's
but yeah,
it's
that's
tight, but it's right, boy. You feel like, oh.
it's tight, but God gonna have to help me because I'm and through every circumstance, and this is why I heard a man of God say today. He said it's important. Now somebody I know said they had a fear of marrying the wrong person, and I finally understood it probably like the other day. And I heard a man of God say, he said, I'm telling y'all women, he said, it's important who a man marries. He said, but it's really important who a woman marries. And this made so much sense. And I think me and Liz had this conversation. I need to see you in every aspect because I got to submit to you. It's important who we marry because I got to submit to your leadership.
Mhm.
I need to know how you feel when you angry. I need to know how you feel when you down. I need to know how you feel when things not going right. I need to know.
Mhm. So true.
I need to know. And not just submitting as far as in a financial aspect, because people can be a good provider, but they can be trash as a husband. They can give you the money, but they can be trash as a husband. They can be trash mentally. They can be trash emotionally.
Mhm.
And they can provide you, but they not giving you nothing else.
Mhm. So true.
So it's really true who we submit to, because the way that we are, us Generation Z's, Generation X, we Generation X, us Generation X, we are now at the point where we at our careers and everything like that. So a man that's a leader is very key in our lives right now.
Yep.
You got sense. It's really key in our lives right now. And if we wasted our earlier years on men that really wasn't a total overall leader, not leader in one aspect, but a total leader that brought infrastructure to our lives, someone that can say and make sense and make sound decisions.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, but yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we got like what, 6 more minutes?
Yeah, it's 8:39. No,
Yeah.
my time is 7 some your time. Okay, so what does healthy love looks like? Redefining love through God's eyes, not broken past. That's a good one. Healthy,
What it
what
say?
does healthy love looks like? Healthy love, it looks like through God's eye. Like we said, it's when you take those what love is and you put it into the flesh. Healthy love look like I'm kind. Not saying we're not gonna always agree on stuff. Not saying we're not gonna have some arguments or maybe, but even at that, I'm learning that sometimes you ain't even with your arguments, you ain't gotta be loud. You ain't gotta be cussing. You could just be, hey, I'm just stating what I'm stating. You stating what you're stating, and we can agree to
Mm-hmm.
disagree, and then we come to either we can't resolve it. We're like, okay, we're gonna let that go. Let's move on. We still talking to each other, still da this. You can have a difference of
Mm-hmm.
opinions. I think people have made normal like it's normal to yell and scream, and you got to be slamming doors. Like that's not normal. That's emotional. That's not normal. That's emotions. That's not normal. And we need to,
Cause you ain't yelling at
huh?
me. Cause you ain't
No,
yelling at me.
we ain't like that. We ain't on that. So the thing about it is we need to start making what normal really supposed to be. You know, and like you said, that's
Mm-hmm.
healthy level. We can sit down and say, "Hey, babe, let's talk about this. This is an issue I have. Hey, babe, I got let's sit and let's discuss it. I listen to you without interrupting. You listen to me without interrupting, and we can go to God in prayer. You know what I'm saying? Like even if we got to get a mediator and we have to, hey, let's go to therapy because we're not gonna do no arguing, and we can talk about it, and we can have somebody that's not that's non-biased and can give us both, you know what I'm saying, show us both each side of things when you can't, because when you sometimes you stuck in your own, and you're stuck in your own, and you like, we need somebody to come in the middle that doesn't have a leg in the race, that can tell both of us so we can see it from another perspective. So love, healthy love is when you can communicate, when you can talk to each other, when I can be vulnerable, and I can go through every emotion with you, and you don't judge me, you don't put me down, but you're there to support me. You can see my needs, and I don't have to tell you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You can get to know me, the things that I don't say, the things that I don't show, the things you can see with me out saying it's without me saying it to you. Healthy love. We got to get out of the unhealthy stuff that you just got to be. I'm the man, or I'm the woman. It's not about that. That's what we used to remember back in the day. We used to
Mm-hmm.
have the braces to about some WWJD. What would Jesus do? Boy, they didn't forgot about them braces. We forgot all about them braces. What would Jesus do? If we start really thinking about what in the situation that we be in, and sometimes it's circumstance, what would Jesus do? What would he say? How would he do it? How would he handle it? If we really thought about that in every aspect of our life, things would be so much better, so much different.
I think some of the scriptures we got is there is no fear in love, but perfect love drives out fear. Jeremiah 31:3. I have loved you with an everlasting love. And in Proverbs 4:23, above all else, guard your heart, For everything you do flows from it.
It's true.
I was talking to somebody else. I said, I see why God sees the heart. I always say, purify my heart, purify my motives, purify my intentions.
Yeah.
The Bible says, out of it flows the issues of life.
Hmm.
Um,
And you just want to be there.
this is why we always got to check our heart
Yep.
posture. We always got to check our
You
heart
have to.
posture. We always got to.
Have to. We're in this flesh, and we can't
Um,
act like we don't feel sometimes some type of way of this or that, or what we do is, sometimes we have to, which is a blessed thing when you can catch yourself doing something and you like, oh wait a minute, that's not me, or I shouldn't feel like that, or I shouldn't do it this way. You know.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that is so right. Um, I think that's a good conversation. I think that I'm gonna look into what Chin said. So you all that are watching, I'm gonna look into what she said because that would be good for us to have call-ins. But like I said, we can have people up here, but we're working on our next. We're gonna get the men up here. We're gonna get some men up here, a variety,
Hmm.
to have the conversation. To have this same conversation as it relates to the effects of a father in their lives, and also, and actually we kind of touched on it last time when they was up
Hmm.
on that, didn't
Yep.
they?
Yep. Yep.
They kind of touched on it. So yeah, we just was stopping through. We're gonna have. I know we were trying to start our book club.
Yes.
We're trying to start our book club. So if you want to join our book club, just hit us up in our inbox, in our inbox. I'm saying in basket. That's that work stuff. In our inbox, and we'll let you know when we're gonna what we're gonna read and when we're gonna start reading, and then we're going to have live discussions on the Sister Spill about the books that we're reading. So anything you got anything else, sister?
No. Good topic. Good topic. Ready for the next one.
Yeah, so we thank you guys for joining
Yes.
us, and we will see you. Who we got? Uh, yes, I
Mhm.
sure will, Devon. We thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you guys on the next episode of the Sisters
Yeah.
Speak. Thank you.